Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Future Force. Today we are going to explore one of the most dramatic and defining moments in the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, a moment that stunned military observers around the world and changed the conversation about air power in modern warfare. We are talking about Ukraine's deadly air ambush that completely destroyed a Russian formation instantly. This was not just another skirmish in the skies but a calculated, precise, and devastating example of how advanced planning, tactical deception, and the right technology can turn an underdog into the dominant force, even against an opponent that for decades has been considered one of the world's most powerful militaries. In this video we are going to break down the entire event, not as a simple news story but as though it were a product review of a masterpiece of military execution. We will look at its exterior, its interior, its performance, its safety features, its unique selling points, its cost, and finally we will draw a conclusion that will help us understand why this moment will be remembered for years to come. On the surface, the exterior of the ambush was deceptively calm and ordinary. Russian jets were flying in formation, relying on their well-known doctrine of air superiority and intimidation. The aircraft looked sleek, modern, and powerful, cutting through the air in tight patterns that were meant to showcase coordination and dominance. These were fighter jets that had been used to patrol, to strike, and to enforce Russian control of the skies, and their exterior appearance was meant to project power. Yet, hidden beneath that appearance was Ukraine's trap. Concealed mobile launchers were hidden under foliage, radars were placed under camouflage netting, and decoys were used to mislead Russian pilots and their onboard detection systems. The external view of the battlefield gave Russia confidence, because from the outside it seemed they faced little to no resistance. But what Russia could not see was the carefully staged ambush, the disguised positions, and the invisible net that was slowly closing around them. The exterior was the bait, calm skies hiding deadly silence before the storm. When we go deeper into the interior, we find the true brilliance of the operation. Inside the ambush was a complex network of radar systems, command posts, and communication channels. Operators were trained not only to fire but to remain patient, to wait for the exact moment when the enemy was fully inside the kill zone. The interior organization was layered, combining older Soviet-era systems that had been refurbished with Western-supplied technology, alongside state-of-the-art air defense batteries like IRIS-T and NASAMS. Each system was positioned so that it could cover another, creating overlapping fields of fire. This interior structure meant that even if one system was targeted, another would still have the ability to strike. Operators sat in mobile command vehicles monitoring radar blips as the Russian formation moved forward, timing their moves down to the second. Secure communication lines linked these units together, making the interior feel less like a random collection of defenses and more like a coordinated orchestra, waiting for the conductor's signal to play. The sheer patience and discipline of the crews made the interior the true strength of the ambush. Performance was where everything came together and shocked the world. As soon as the Russian formation was fully committed, the Ukrainian systems lit up. Multiple missiles launched simultaneously, streaking across the sky at incredible speed. Russian pilots had only seconds to react, but they were caught in a trap from which there was no escape. Their electronic countermeasures, their flares, and their evasive maneuvers were all overwhelmed by the saturation of the attack. Within moments, fireballs lit up the night sky as multiple jets were struck almost at the same time. The performance of the Ukrainian ambush was flawless, executed with precision and timing that would rival the best-planned NATO drills. Analysts later remarked that the efficiency and speed of the ambush suggested not only advanced equipment but also highly skilled operators who had rehearsed these tactics repeatedly. The kill ratio was devastatingly lopsided. Russia lost millions of dollars worth of advanced aircraft in a matter of seconds, while Ukraine's systems remained intact and undetected until after the strike was complete. This performance was a real-world demonstration that in modern warfare, preparation and coordination can outperform brute strength in numbers. Now we must talk about safety features, an unusual but crucial perspective. Ukraine designed this ambush to maximize the safety of its personnel and equipment. Systems were positioned in dispersed patterns to prevent a single retaliatory strike from wiping them out. Mobile launchers fired and then immediately moved, making it nearly impossible for Russian forces to track them down. Radars were only activated for short bursts of time, just enough to lock onto targets, reducing the chance that Russian anti-radiation missiles could detect and destroy them. Civilian areas were deliberately avoided, keeping the engagement strictly within the combat zone. These layers of safety ensured that the Ukrainian side not only achieved victory but did so while minimizing their own risk. On the Russian side, however, the safety features built into their aircraft, advanced countermeasures, warning systems, and maneuverability, failed completely in the face of Ukraine's coordinated attack. The lesson here is that safety is not just about technology but about the environment in which that technology operates. Ukraine created an environment where Russian safety systems were rendered useless. When we highlight the unique selling points of this ambush, it becomes clear why the world paid so much attention. The first unique selling point was deception. Ukraine presented a picture of weakness, luring the Russian jets into overconfidence, only to unleash destruction at the right moment. The second was coordination. By combining old and new systems, Ukraine showed that a mix of technologies can sometimes be even more effective than the most advanced single system. The third was psychological impact. For Russian pilots and military leadership, the loss was not just about destroyed jets but about shattered confidence. Knowing that an entire formation can be erased in seconds makes every future mission more terrifying. For Ukraine and its allies, the operation was proof that Western-supplied weapons were worth the investment and that with the right tactics, even a smaller nation can stand up to a giant. The fourth selling point was cost-effectiveness, which we will explore next, but it is important to stress that these unique points turned the ambush from just a battle into a statement. Price is where the numbers tell a brutal story. Each Russian jet destroyed in the ambush carried a price tag of tens of millions of dollars. Depending on the type of aircraft, the cost could range anywhere from $35 million to over $90 million. The total loss for Russia in just a few minutes of combat reached into the hundreds of millions. On the other side, Ukraine used missiles that cost significantly less, from a few $100,000 to a few million each. The cost-benefit ratio was staggering. For every missile Ukraine fired, it destroyed a platform worth 20 to 50 times more. This financial devastation matters because wars are not fought with unlimited resources. Russia can replace aircraft, but doing so drains its economy, its defense budget, and its ability to sustain long campaigns. Ukraine's investment in modern air defense systems paid for itself many times over in a single operation. The ambush was not just a military win, it was an economic masterstroke. As we draw to the conclusion, we see a picture of warfare in the 21st century that is very different from what many had expected. The skies are no longer ruled by whoever has the most jets or the most advanced fighters. Instead, they are shaped by intelligence, patience, and the clever use of available resources. Ukraine's deadly air ambush against the Russian formation proved that strategy and brains can outmatch raw power and numbers. The exterior deception fooled the enemy, the interior organization provided strength, the performance was flawless, the safety measures ensured protection, the unique selling points highlighted ingenuity, the price comparison showed financial brilliance, and the conclusion is undeniable. In modern warfare, the smartest side wins, not always the biggest. This ambush will go down in military history as a case study of how a nation fighting for survival used innovation and discipline to deliver a stunning blow against a superior foe. It is a lesson that will be studied by militaries and strategists worldwide, a moment that proves even in the darkest of times, precision and courage can change everything.